Hi, welcome to the Anchorage for Switch to Linux. And I happen to be Ivan, or Shadow Strike, as clearly identified back there. Uh, I happen to be a volunteer contributor to Switch to Linux, and this is what that's all about. And I'm going to be showing you something in regarding to your data today, and what that entails. So why don't we take a look at that? Now, with the Switch to Linux channel, I mean, its primary focus is regarding Linux and how against Windows we are, and maybe even Mac. But it's more than just Linux itself. It actually goes into the realm of data, privacy, security, things of that sort. And you can see a number of things regarding that on the weekly stream, the weekly news roundup held on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And this one here is going to be regarding data as well. This is my channel, of course, and this is me doing a little contribution. As you can see, it's SwitchQuest. So there we go. So what I want to do is, discuss about data, stuff like that. Places where, everyone has their data and, they put it out on, let's say, Google, or they put it out on, Microsoft solutions and stuff like that. But this is to show you, what you can do with it yourself, where you're actually controlling it, mainly because, well, why don't we look at one of them real quick and kind of show you what we've got for selections and stuff like that. So I've actually got I've got Google set up here. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to poke over to actually Google's website, google.com, and yeah. So here we have it. And so here's got Google's website. You can do your searching here. And it's got AI mode. No, AI. We're also against AI. AI has its place, but not in running our lives. So mainly, okay. So as we can see, it says, "Oh, I want you to sign in." Well, I'm not. Do I have a Google account? Yes, I do. But it's hardly ever used for anything. Like never. But they have a number of different solutions out here. If we go to here, we got the Google Apps. So if we pull this down, sign in so you can arrange the apps the way that you want. Okay, fine, whatever. But you got your account, search, maps, YouTube, news, Gmail, Meet, chat, contacts, Drive, calendar, play, translate, photos, Chrome, shopping, finance, docs, sheets, and the list just goes on. So the whole goal here is to make Google your one-stop shop for anything you may need. And, what is that going to basically entail is, it takes all of your data, your personal data, it links it all together, and that's what we run into when we go out to websites and stuff like that, where it requires a login, and they're going out there and they're saying, log in with a Google account. Make it all simple. Yeah, it's because they're tracking you, they're data harvesting, they're profiling, things of that sort. Now, Microsoft does the same thing. A little different. Their approach is different, but, what they do is instead of having it all in one area, they've got all of their separate apps and things of that sort, and, they're trying to make Windows that realm. For files, you've got OneDrive, you've got a calendar, you've got they don't want you got Outlook. We used to have Outlook Express back in the day, and that was actually kind of nice, but they don't have that anymore. They want everybody on Microsoft 365, an all-in-one Office suite, where you use all of the different Office things. That's your mail, that's your calendar, that's your docs, that's your spreadsheets, presentations, all of that. And, it's all accessible through Windows, of course. And they're basically taking that approach. Whereas Google, they're not an operating system, they're a web solution. Microsoft has Windows, which is an operating system. And they're putting all of their solutions into Windows. And, they're saying, they annoy people all the time. Hey, get this, get 365, get OneDrive, get this, get that, get Teams and everything. And you really don't kind of want that kind of thing. You can actually bring in everything yourself. And we're going to talk about that. All right, now, in, recent months, recent weeks, recent years, Tom has actually gone out and mentioned one of these solutions where you can actually control your own data and you still own it and everything of that sort. And that, happens to be a solution that, it's a lot better than Google. It's a lot better than Micro. Schmoogle, Microslop. There you go. Applesauce, crab apple, if you want to call it that. It's kind of cute, but in neither sense. Tom's mentioned a solution that's available out there. It's been around for a while, and we're actually going to see that. It's just 10, 12 years, I forget. But, the main thing is I'm looking at the screen. I've got that. Okay, that's all good. We're good to go. So, big time solution that Tom has mentioned before recently and in the past, going back, everything like that, happens to be Nextcloud. You can protect your own data using Nextcloud. Now, what exactly is Nextcloud? Well, we can actually go take a look at that. So why don't we look at that? Here we are, Nextcloud. Okay, it's the 10th anniversary for Nextcloud. That's excellent. Let's see. And they say up top here, Nextcloud Hub 26, spring is here. So basically, regain control over your data, the better Microsoft 365 for private clouds. Remote collaboration made easy, customizable, and scalable. No data leaks to third parties, and you can discover it. We'll actually take a pop over there. Nextcloud Hub, which is what they're calling it, Nextcloud Hub. It's run by Nextcloud. And so the next generation digital workspace that puts you in control. So basically, we've got Nextcloud Files. That's where you can keep control of your data. Nextcloud Talk. That is calls, chat, and video conferencing. So there's your Zoom, your Teams. Nextcloud Groupware, calendar, contacts, and mail. So basically, that's where you can control your calendars, all of your contacts, and your email side of things. Nextcloud Office, real-time collaboration. Nextcloud Assistant, private and local AI assistant. If you have to go with AI, bring it local. I don't like AI at all. I don't plan on using it, but in neither sense, you can have that. And you get Nextcloud Flow, driving digital transformation with automation. Things are done automatically. That's really good. So we've got files down here. So basically, self-hosted file storage and sync platform with powerful collaboration capabilities with the desktop and mobile and web interfaces. Nextcloud Talk delivers on-premise private audio, video conferencing, and chat text through browser and mobile interfaces with integrated screen sharing and SIP integration. I know what SIP is, but I can't bring the definition out of my face, but neither sense. So groupware, there's your calendar, contact mail. Nice. Modern email client, support for external mail servers. Shared calendars with advanced planning tools. Contact address book integrated across your apps, self-hosted and fully in your control. Got Office here. Nextcloud Office is a powerful online suite with collaborative editing, which supports all major document, spreadsheet, and presentation file formats and works in all modern browsers. For those of you who have been like, yeah, can it do Word? It can do word formatting. It can do doc. It can do docx. It can do, XLS, XLSX, and so on. Particularly with the suites that it has available. Cloud Assistant, the AI, Nextcloud Assistant, the AI, if you really want to do that, I'm going to skip that part. Nextcloud Flow and such. Now, why Nextcloud Hub? And of course, that's out of alignment. Oh, wait a minute. Can we go over? Yes, we can. Somewhat. Yeah. Okay, you can run it wherever you choose. So you can decide where your data is actually going to be housed. You can do it if you've got a company. You can run it on a company server or with a provider that you trust, or maybe even at home on your own machine. Now, that could be the machine that you're actually running right now, or you could actually have a dedicated machine, separate, but on your network. It's 100% open source. That's good. A single integrated platform. That's nice. Built for your infrastructure. All right, that's good. So they thought about you. Enterprise grade security. Now, when they say enterprise, they're talking the big guys, big guy level, the big tech level. Your banking side, investments. Those kinds of security. Heavily regulated sectors. Trust Nextcloud. Okay. Online collaboration without compliance and security risks. Scalable, collaborative, verified enterprise class security, flexible user management, sync across desktop and mobile, automated tools, ethical AI. Ethical AI is better than AI. I'll give you that. Massive app ecosystem, 600 plus apps in the App Store. Open API, popular integrations like Microsoft, Slack, and Miro, so on and so forth. What sets them apart from everybody else? Disconnected apps create risks. Okay. One platform brings unified experience. Simple IT equals better security and control. So you can run Nextcloud Hub in a private cloud, your own cloud. You can run it the way you want. As I mentioned before, okay, on the premises with a hosting provider, if you so wish, whether it be a free one or if it happens to be, if it's free, you're the product. Well, there is one outfit that doesn't treat you like that, and I happen to volunteer for them. That happens to be Disroot, disroot.org. Hello. It's trusted by thousands of organizations, and there's just a few of them right here, and we can actually scroll through these. These are just the ones that they've got the logos for. And you can actually go and see all of the customers. But all the, different outfits using Nextcloud. And you can stay in touch. You can get a quote. You can pay for it and stuff like that. But it's free. 100% free. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, Nextcloud offers a modern on-premises content collaboration platform with real-time document editing, video chat, groupware on mobile, desktop, and web. So we got the About Nextcloud, all of that. This is the footer area. Here's all the different resources right through here, and you can interact. Support, their discussion forums. There's a demo, actually, but I'm actually going to be showing you something else. And there's actually a bug tracker because they're collaborative with the users. So, running Nextcloud, like it mentioned on the website, you can run it on your own system that you've got sitting in front of you right now. You can also actually have a separate system on your network dedicated to just Nextcloud. And there's what they call the Nextcloud was it all-in-one or AIO, to help simplify the setup. And it's a great little application. You download the AIO, you get it onto the drive, put it in that machine, you kick it off, and you can build your own Nextcloud instance with the AIO. I've taken a slightly different approach. About 5-6 years ago, I was involved with a project, or trying to make a simple installation on something that is that at that time was super affordable. Still affordable today, although because of the Rampocalypse and the what's probably soon going to be the Drivepocalypse, like with SSDs in particular, stuff like that. But these guys, you can run Nextcloud on one of these little guys. And that project I was part of was for getting it onto here. It was, it's called Nextcloud Pi, and we're going to be talking about that briefly in a moment. And yeah, this is a Raspberry Pi. It is an SBC, meaning single board computer. Just a little thing, size of a credit card, and these are very, very volatile, useful tools. Volatile meaning you can do a lot with them. These are very capable little gizmos. And right back there is my first one that I ever bought. It was a Minecraft server for a while, because I was part of a, how to run Minecraft servers using a Raspberry Pi. That was called Craftbian, which is Minecraft and Raspbian kind of mushed together. But these guys, this one happens to be a 3. This may have been the one that I did it on originally. I can't remember because, there's nothing to identify. I mean, I've had multiple of these units. This is my last spare one. I've given the other ones away, the other 2. And I've got 2 up there. They're not being used right now because I've got no purpose for them. That would be Aurora and Uppsala. But these things are really, really good. And so what I want to do is, well, yeah, I did that originally, but I didn't throw it up there, but that's no big deal. Where are we? There you are, and there's that. And so we're going to be looking at Nextcloud Pi briefly, which is this guy. And this is a very simple web page. This is nextcloudpi.com. And there it is. Nextcloud Pi, keep your data close. Your online services at home on your Raspberry Pi, of course. But of course, Nextcloud Pi actually does run on more than just a Raspberry Pi. Just so you know. Easy to set up for non-technical users. That's really good because I'm not super technical. I'm a little technical, more so with hardware than anything. But, you can manage your backups. It's got automatic security updates. That's really cool. That way, as far as security updates go, they're all automatically done, so you don't even have to worry about it. Security features such as a firewall, WAF, fail to ban, and so on. And you can have direct access to your files on the local network. So that's really good. And, they got all the documentation. They got the community. They got, updates out on social media, namely out on Mastodon. But the Fediverse in general, you can find them on the Fediverse. And you can see the code. Installation is done, it's just one option here. An LXD container image. So basically you can run this in any system that supports LXC containers. And that's the LXD documentation. And here's the command you can use to get it. And further down, SBC. So this is where the SBC of the Raspberry Pi side of it goes. Pre-installed SD card images out there that you can just download, throw it on your car, throw it on your SBC, your Raspberry, and go. And I'm actually going to pop out here real quick just to kind of show you. This is out on GitHub. This is where they're located. Okay, Odroid, Orange Pi, Raspberry Pi 4 Plus, so it has to be a 4 or higher. Today it's currently a 5. Orange Pi, Odroid, Rock Pro 64. And let's see, they got the LXC container and they got the LXD container for both ARM64 and for x86 platforms. So you can run Nextcloud Pi in a variety of locations, and I am really happy with that. So that's just really, really good. Now, me, I was part of the original side of it, which was in Nextcloud Pi. Now, what was my involvement? I wasn't deep into the project. I'll let you know that right now. I just did some social media management. I posted out on, back then it was Twitter. Today it's X. The account's still there, but I don't believe they're using it. Why? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. But they are using the Mastodon account occasionally, not often. Usually when there's an update in the overall Nextcloud Pi system, the versions, the new versions when they get released, or if there's updates to them, things of that sort. But in either sense, that's really all that I did. Now, what I did recently, fairly recently, I'm currently in a testing phase for running this thing on a Raspberry Pi 5, the one that was donated to me by Mythos, and I think I want to show it to you. And once again, we were talking about, running Nextcloud on, a Nextcloud Pi, on the actual Nextcloud Pi itself, that installation that you can put in onto your own Raspberry Pi or single board computer, or any LXC or LXD container on any system that's running those kinds of containers. It's actually not that difficult to do, and I'm going to show you the proof of that. So why don't we actually show you my little doodad that I've got going, and that would happen to be this guy. And get over to it. Here we go. All right, so this is my Nextcloud instance. It's Mercury 3.0. I'll talk about that afterwards. So, and way down at the bottom, we've got Mercury 3.0, keeping my data on my curb. Might talk about that. But yeah, now with Nextcloud Pi, it's automatically the user of NCP. Now that is the initial user, whether both on the admin side, administration, and the user. So that's everything there. So we throw in our password. You can log in with the device. You can do forgot password if you need to. You can do remember me. I usually do remember me. And here we go. This is it. This is how it looks. This is how I have it set up. My instance is very, very minimal. So I've got a notification up here. That's this little bell in this upper right-hand corner. It's got a little red dot. I'll click on that. I was just requesting that I allow notifications. So there are none. All right, so up in the far left corner, we've got the actual icon that I've created for it. Now, like I said, it's Mercury. Now, why did I call it Mercury? Well, I'll tell you that in a little bit. So this is the dashboard right here. And you can customize the dashboard with a number of different widgets. And you can go out and get more widgets from the App Store. But here are the ones I've got currently available to me right now. And if we want to ever put one in there, we can just check it off. There's the weather. I can do upcoming cards. I can do, that's related to one of the apps I've got in here. Do today, do tomorrow, Twitter home. Twitter's not working great, or Bird site, or what they call it today, X. Mastodon home timeline, that could be active, and then if I close out, we can see I've got the upcoming cards. That this is for switch to Linux, and then my Mastodon home timeline would be this. Now, I don't use Mastodon. I use Pleroma, provided by Disroot, but it's all about the ActivityPub protocol, so I can access it. So it's not Mastodon. It's actually Fedisroot, but it's not labeled as such because this is a Nextcloud app. And there we go. So I can go to my home timeline if I wish. Things of that sort. There's my weather up there. This weather widget is only in Celsius. I don't have the option for Fahrenheit because I'm in the States. So I typically don't have any of that going. So I shut that. And I've got my own weather widget on my desktop if I want. I don't need to do that. And we can see that it's titled CJ over here. I'll talk about that too. So, like I said, my build is very, very minimal. I've got files, I've got deck, I've got cookbook. What are all of these? Well, that's dashboard. Let's show you the files. We'll go into there. Why not? Just to show an example of that, here are all the directories I've got going on. There's Mercury 2.0 because I don't have any of the 1 available right now. There's 2.0, which was the initial Raspberry Pi Nextcloud instance that I had going on. Just prior to 3, the current one. West Chronicles, that is going back all the way back to high school. Ragnar Mindstad, that is regarding when I used to play Minecraft. But we got all of that. And so if I go in here and I go into backgrounds, let's say, oh, there's my background. Document. So if I go into deck, yeah, I said document, whatever. These are all the graphics I've got currently in my deck folder. So, I can click on that and I can add them all to favorites. I can manage tags. I can move a copy. I can download them. I can delete the folders. So, get rid of that. I can sort it by type, modified, people. I'm the only user on this. And I'll describe that. And this one is switched to grid view, if I so wish. Looks like icons. Like you can find in your file manager. It mimics that. Or you can go all files. Reload the content. Go back. And let's see. So personal files, I don't have any. Recent favorites, shares. If you've got multiple users and you want to share it across to other users on your instance, there you go. I'm the only user on mine, so I don't have to worry about that. We get the folder tree. Here's my folder tree, if I so wish. Now I can go back to the dashboard. And here we are. And then we've got deck. What is deck? Well, it's essentially a project. It's a project board management system. To keep track of different projects. And you've got all different boards. So I've got one for disk root, IT maintenance, projects. Ragnar AnKorage, that's for my home stuff. I decided finally, yeah, why don't we bring my home stuff in here as well? There's my switch to Linux stuff. There's my stuff for this channel. We'll look at this channel real quick. I've got a video template. This is the one I'm working on right now. So I'm going to move this over here because it's in progress. And you can create additional lists. You can create additional cards. And you can go into them. And you can do details, which is what all this stuff is. This is just the ones that I've got written in there. You can do attachments, photographic copies. There's my thumbnail. I can upload new files. I can share from files that are already there. I can go into comment and I can put in a comment about anything that I may, find substantial or important enough to put in there. But, I typically don't have much to say. That's usually saved for when I'm doing my IT maintenance. You can do many different things in here. I can collect, I can do tags of this sort. I can mark it as done when it's finished. I can archive it. I can do a number of different things. If I've got multiple users, or if you do, boom, I'm the only one. So, and then I've got this list here. Share, open a sidebar view, if I so wish. Edit the title, assign, mark as done, move or copy. So if I close this out, you'll see this. I do a move or copy of that. And I typically don't move it to other boards. I just move it to a different list. But this one here is idea to do. I can pick that one. And I can click on copy, it's the idea to do, and then I click copy, and boom, there's that new one. Delete that. So you get that. You can add a board. You can import pre-existing boards. It's really useful. So say like my switch to Linux, you know, all of my templates, these are all pre-written. These are all done. So it's like a checklist for me. Here's the current one that I've got going on right now. It's you know, this one will be done at, you know, I put a due time of 4 o'clock this afternoon, when I'm going to go through and I'm going to do posts out on Blue Sky, X, Fetish Fruit, and Lemmy. The Matrix one has already been taken care of, so that was marked, checked off. And then, you know, I put data in here, just, you know, for the different posts. The Fediverse, this is all pre-written because I need it that way. I just add in, you know, things such as description, the title. Of course, I've got 2 quotes there, but that's my own fault. You know, and for the folks out on Matrix, they actually get direct links to the actual videos. Everybody else just gets the links to the channel. So, you know, because, you know, the Matrix folks, they're special in a good way. So there we go. And, you know, we can actually do all kinds of stuff here. Will I do separate videos regarding different apps in here? No, probably not. But I might. You never know. And then I've got cookbook. Now, why do I have a cookbook in here? That goes in line with me bringing my stuff over regarding my home. Easy Blondies. This one's really good because I went out, I found the recipe on the internet, and I downloaded the recipe right here. I just put the URL in there, and then it just propagated everything I needed in there. Now, what do I have Blondies in particular in here? That goes back some time, but yeah, to my elementary, junior high school days. So, and these things are awesome. If you ever wanted a chocolate chip cookie in like a brownie format, this is the closest way to get it. And this recipe is actually the more or less the one from my school. So there's that. So, you know, but I don't have much out here. So if I wanted to add more apps, I can come over here to the top right corner, click on this, and I can come down to apps. And this will actually go and list all of the apps. And you can actually, I see I have an app update. Okay, well, I'll probably take care of that another time. I only do maintenance on weekends and once a month and once a year. So you got featured apps. You can go here. These are all the featured apps. Yeah. And this is from at the Nextcloud level, not the Nextcloud Pi level, but Nextcloud. You know, here's you got the AI, customization, dashboard, files, games, integration, monitoring, multimedia, office and text, organization, search, security, social and communication, tools, and flow. You know, there's tons of apps in all of these, and you can download these right into your Nextcloud, straight into your Nextcloud instance. There's no downloading out into your file structure on your computer and manually uploading things. You can, you know, download these straight into Nextcloud and you can use them. I love that. So there we go. So I'm gonna go back to here. Yeah, it's really, really good. And you know, a little description about the visual. That is, you know, from like what you see. This is all related to my channel. You know, you got the forest background. Green is the channel color, it's the household color, and it's my color. It's a triple whammy. There you go. And of course, you know, I've got all this computery kind of line work here, the gray in here. That's to let it know, well, it's for the technical side of what I do. which is all voluntary and a hobby and things of that sort. Then, of course, it says CJ here. What is the CJ part of it all about? Why does it say CJ? It's a nod to Tom's not so recently, well, 7 months have gone by, so I'm going to say not so recent, regarding a cat that was his by the name of CJ, the letters C and J. And after learning, about his passing and things of that sort, after I had received the raspberry from Mythos and trying to decide what I wanted to do with it, well, I bought a case for it. You've seen it in previous videos. And I decided to, in remembrance of one of the two Van Panthers, CJ, in remembrance of him, I've nicknamed it CJ. Why isn't it a C and a J? Well, I don't want to go to, I don't want to be tacky. I gotta give it my own flair. Hello. So I took the Star Wars route. I'm in New Hampshire. We've got 18 miles of seacoast. So C, S-E-A, and then J, J-A-Y. J because we got a lot of J's. We got Blue Jays, then, Hunger Games, Mockingjay, so forth. And, the name J, hello. So there we go. That's how I do it. If I was going to pick the Star Wars method, they'd probably call it S-E-E-J-A-E, something lame like that. I don't know. But, so I picked S-E-A-J-A-Y. So CJ. So this is nicknamed CJ. Why did I pick Mercury? Like I mentioned before, I believe I'm in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is the home state of the first American in space, Alan B. Shepard. And he is originally from Derry, New Hampshire. And his high school days were at Pinkerton Academy. And to my knowledge, he never liked that place. He never liked the town. That's why he's not buried there. I can show you. I'm pretty close. It's not that far away from me. So I've been to the family plot for the Shepherds, and he is not buried there. That's because after he passed away, he was cremated, and his ashes were sprinkled out over the Pacific outside of San Diego, where he was living at the time. I think his wife was did the same thing after she passed away. I think she was cremated as well. I can't remember for sure, but neither sense. Now, my installation of Nextcloud Pi is strictly for me. Therefore, it is strictly internal. It reaches out when it needs to for things from Nextcloud, or Nextcloud Pi in particular. But that's it. Nothing is coming in. Anything where I need to do anything Nextcloud based, I already have a Nextcloud instance available to me. I got 3 separate ones actually, all out on this route. One for the home, one for me, one for the channel, which is doubled up with switch to Linux. But I decided with my build of Nextcloud Pi, why don't we just bring them all in onto this and be done with that. So for my typical everyday operation of what I need regarding my data, excuse me, I just bring it all in and I just use Mercury. So I named it Mercury because of that, because of Alan, and the Mercury 7. The first 7 U.S. astronauts into space, and really call it that. And the very first Mercury was Nextcloud Pi on that raspberry, probably this one. And it falls, whatever. That was the first one. I used it for a short stint, but at the time I determined I really had no purpose for it, so I didn't bother with it. I moved on, and then years later, I went on and started up with using disroots instances, and been carrying that along, and now I've got it all right here on my curb. QURB, curb. Gotta give it my own flair. Because the Q, the R, and the B are part of my call sign for GMRS, my GMRS license. So it was part of that, and I just paying it forward. There we go. And I've got 2 more years before I have to renew that license, unless they make it a license by rule by that point. Unless they've done it already, I haven't looked into it, but neither sensible. So that was just kind of showing you a little bit about Nextcloud, what it's good for, and Nextcloud Pi in particular. In my instance, nobody comes into it because it's internal only. That's it. Nothing comes into it. It just reaches out to a couple of spots for different things regarding the instance, and that is it. So there we go. But Nextcloud is all about bringing your data into a spot, into a place where you control it. So that is a much better, safer solution. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I'm not like talking really fast or anything like that because that's not me. And I'm not here to impress anybody. So there you go. Anyways, but I hope you enjoyed this. And we are going to talk to you later in another video, and maybe you might get some more of these Switch Quest videos. I'm hoping so. Something a little peppier, speedier, whatever. Neither sense. There you go. Thank you very much, Skál. We'll talk to you later.